You know, we're MEP engineers from Richmond, Virginia. I guess you know that by now.
As a marketer, speaking with engineers, it's like we speak different languages.
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge is just to kind of get everybody on the same page. It's sort of like herding cats.
You can have an electrical trade contractor doing $5 million a year, and they'll still have an AOL.com account.
Yeah, at gmail.com, or, you know, an antiquated website riddled with typos. When I started my business 5 years ago, I was doing everything from scratch. That's writing out 1,000-word blogs to build up organic SEO content, even just doing GoDaddy and WordPress sites on my own. So now to have this tool to kind of get the content started, and to your point, what you guys were talking about in your presentation of fact checking and going back, you know, I've had some issues with that personally, you know, with one of my structural engineers, like different building codes, FISP, you know, I read back through and it's like, wait a minute, that's not what FISP is.
Yeah. We're always worried about the technical part of the proposals. It's tough as an engineer to think about, does this look good? You know, because you can have the best contractor, engineer, whoever in the world, but if the proposal just looks bad, you start to kind of doubt yourself a little bit, you know?
Well, the client's going to doubt you too, because then you're going to be sat on a table next to someone that maybe spent a few extra bucks to have it look professional, have a brand, a cohesive brand. We want to tell a story. So we're going to go from rendering to punch list project closeout. You guys are so busy working in your business that you don't have time to work on your business. And I know how to sell services to do that. So you do your job and I can take care of the marketing and the logos.
All right, and the mic wants to be this close to your mouth.
Like this?
Yes.
Oh, I sound really weird.
It's so important because if you're not close to it, then the noise will be hard to hear you.
What?
What did you say?
What?
What are they selling?
Is this thing on?
I can also turn your headphones up or down.
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, because it's like a sensory thing. I hear everybody else.
Yeah, you're like, everybody shut up.
Yeah. That should drown out the voices in my head. We're good. Okay.
All right. Welcome to the Blueprint Tour. We're here with Jessica Vail.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about whatever we got to talk about. You know, we're MEP engineers from Richmond, Virginia. I guess you know that by now. And this has been a really cool experience for us. We appreciate being invited and just being able to talk about it. As MEP engineers, we're often kind of just over in this quarantine section of the construction industry, just like, you guys stay over there and you do your engineering. So tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I am founder and president of Vail Marketing Solutions. We are a full-service marketing agency that caters to the AEC industry. And IIBEC has brought me along to help them run this event.
Well, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
What got you into the AEC side? Like, what that strategic decision there?
So I started in the construction industry probably around 2006. My dad was in the industry.
Okay.
And I started as an intern for a global construction management firm and just kind of worked my way around the industry. I've worked for contractors, subcontractors, and AE firms.
What are the challenges in trying to help people market and brand in the AEC world?
So I think the biggest challenge is just to kind of get everybody on the same page. It's sort of like herding cats. And, you know, as a marketer, speaking with engineers, it's like we speak different languages.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, people always ask me, are you an engineer? And I say, no, I just play one on TV or social media in our case.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because I don't know, were you and I talking about this where you can have an electrical trade contractor doing $5 million a year and they'll still have an AOL.com account and just like still be faxing.
Yeah, at gmail.com, or, you know, an antiquated website riddled with typos.
Yeah, is part of the consulting to say, all right, maybe it's time we pay for a real domain?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, you know, I have a whole website development team. So we build out custom WordPress sites and, you know, do a whole slew of digital marketing services, SEO.
Has it gotten a lot easier with the AI integrations with WordPress? Is that workflow?
Yes. So I will say, when I started my business 5 years ago, I was doing everything from scratch. So that's writing out 1,000-word blogs to build up organic SEO content, even just doing GoDaddy and WordPress sites on my own. So now to have this tool to kind of get the content started, and to your point, what you guys were talking about in your presentation of fact checking and going back, I've had some issues with that personally, with one of my structural engineers, like different building codes, FISP, I read back through and it's like, wait a minute, that's not what FISP is.
Yeah. So do you help people generate that kind of content too? And how difficult is it to marry the technical, the need for technical content, I would guess, and then validating that? Like what does that look like?
So I don't do like the technical content. I'm more of like the marketing and client facing content. So let's say when it comes to proposal work, I would put together like the marketing aspects of that. So we have project sheets, project experience, highlighting the company staff and key personnel that's going to be included on the project. And I kind of would defer to them to do the technical parts of the proposal.
I see. So you have, let's say you have some RFP or some, something being solicited by the state, and they ask for who are going to be the key personnel, and they need resumes, and you just basically make it look sweet.
Yeah, that. And, we need someone who has 15 years experience in a data center or a school construction, something like that. So I'd go back to the team and say, all right, what jobs do we have? Or if I've worked with the client long enough, I'd be like, all right, I already know what projects we're going to showcase for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the marketing in that sense, I remember the firm I used to work for, there was a marketing department, and that's basically putting the resumes together. I was too junior to really know even what that was, or, but that makes sense. So how much is it preparing RFP, proposal requests and all that good stuff versus branding and identity? Do you do any of that kind of work too, helping people think about that?
100%. So, the brand starts with website, social media, and kind of work backwards from there. So, I've done everything from a whole logo redesign to just kind of prettying up their proposal documents and business cards.
A lot of people in the creative space feel in some ways supplanted by some of the new models that are out and all that. But I kind of think, I was talking about this the other day with Carter and Nick, and administrative work is still annoying for me to do. And just because an AI can do administrative work for me doesn't mean I want to use the AI to do that. I'd rather have it be doing engineering work for me. And I still want an administrator to do administrative work. So that's why I think about marketing and branding and things like that with logo generation. It's like, great, now you can have higher throughput in the consulting that you're providing as a service provider. I still don't want to do it. Do you see that? Like, the consumption, I guess another way to say it is I foresee perhaps the consumption of the service actually increasing because of how much throughput you can get.
Yeah, I could see that. So, they hire me to take on the marketing. Let's say they don't have a marketing team in place. They don't have a budget to hire a very seasoned marketing professional, marketing director. So you hire a third party to outsource that fractionally. So, you pay like a third of what you'd pay a marketing director's salary. But then, there is an admin aspect to that too. It's just kind of keeping everybody on task and keeping everyone honest about what we're working on.
Keeping on task. That's interesting. So you herding cats, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you have to get from people that's hard to get? Is it, I need your list of projects? What does that even look like?
So because I'm fully remote, I'm not on site. I do go to the office sometimes, when necessary, but a lot of construction happens on site and I'm not there. They are. So I'm relying heavily on them to provide some of the content, or as a value add, from Vail Marketing, we have, different photographers and videographers that we can hire project-based to go on site and get that content.
I see. So you're looking for photos from the building and that kind of stuff that you can use and integrate into the documents.
Correct.
And otherwise, you'll have to go out physically
Correct. We want to tell a story. So here's we're going to go from rendering to punch list project closeout, and we want to tell that story.
Yeah, one of my early sales mentors always said, "Words tell, stories sell," and that's so important.
100%.
That's kind of what's fun about the podcast too. Just like learn about people's stories and how they got into it and all that kind of stuff. We get into sometimes we get way off on a tangent and talk about rock climbing for like 10 minutes, which is what happened today.
Yeah. We're always worried about the technical part of the proposals. It's tough as an engineer to think about, does this look good? You know, because you could have the best contractor, engineer, whoever in the world, but if the proposal just looks bad, you start to kind of doubt yourself a little bit, you know?
Well, the client's going to doubt you too, because then you're going to be sat on a table next to someone that maybe spent a few extra bucks to have it look professional, have a brand, a cohesive brand. I can't tell you how many times I've inherited, an architect or engineer, contractor, and the fonts don't match. The logo, you have an old logo on one page, and it's just how nothing's cohesive.
Yeah. Or this drives me nuts. The logo aspect ratio was stretched and it wasn't maintained, and so like
you don't have that EPS file.
Oh my gosh. Or yeah, different fonts, and
that's another challenge now that I think of it. Send me a high resolution logo. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Okay, here's a JPEG from a Google search that I found.
We had to send our high-res logo. It's funny because I was going to dig that up. And I was like, I pulled it. I was like, she probably needs a high-res. Because I looked at it. I was like, it looks kind of, I was like, it might be fine. We're in the middle of something or whatever. And then
I'm pretty sure I sent you guys an email about a high-res logo.
Yeah. We are one of those cats.
Guilty.
Yep.
We totally failed that test. Yeah, so I can understand how frustrating and difficult.
But you know what?
Would be.
You totally redeemed yourself because you did come through with the EPS logo. So
yes.
Oh, nice! Shout out Carter.
Applause.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wow. That is wild. I mean, we have similar challenges. Engineers are looking for information from people. We got to collect like equipment lists and where is the layout going to be and all that. And so, it's just so much communication required from all parties. We always say it feels like a miracle any building ever actually gets constructed.
I can second that.
Yeah.
It's like, how did this ever get
Because I
finished?
see behind the scenes.
Yeah. It seems crazy, even from the permitting and like the early planning side, like just getting past those hurdles.
Well, you know what? That's what I say to my clients all the time. Like, you guys are so busy working in your business that you don't have time to work on your business. And, I don't know how to build a building, but I know how to sell services to do that. So you do your job and I can take care of the marketing and the logos.
And that makes sense. That'll just always be a need for professional services. Like you said, if we put together anything, we think it looks good, it's a 100% chance it does not look good. I always tell people, don't let us do your lighting layouts, because like we wouldn't be able to do that. We would just put a crappy looking light and say that means
Couple
code.
2x4s.
Yeah, it's not our strong suit. Some engineers have that talent, but the category of people attracted to technical stuff aren't usually the ones that also know it looks cool. So interesting. So how did you get connected with the IIBEC world again?
So I've worked for a couple of engineers and I've been to their events over the years. I actually know a decent amount of people on the board, and they put out a job, like an event coordinator. I saw it on LinkedIn. I was like, hey, I could do that.
Yeah.
So I reached out and we had some interviews and now here I am.
That's
Nice.
awesome. This takes a special kind of person to be able to handle that kind of project. My wife's a chef, and she used to do catering as well, and part of the event planning and coordinating world. I'm just like, how is that even? So much is happening on the day of event that's like live. I stress out just setting up a little podcast, let alone having a podcaster at an event that you got to get a place and a home, and then the AV guys, the food, and all of that.
There's a lot of magic.
Yeah, it's
and a lot of
crazy.
coffee.
Kudos to you for having that skill set, because I think that's truly like a unique thing that you can't. I don't think you could train it. You just have to have it.
Professional cat herder.
Yeah, you've done a great job at that. Well, we'll let you get back to it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sitting down and rip with us and taking
this
the
is
time.
awesome.
We'll close with that and give you one more air horn.
And round of applause.
Thank
you,
you.
Jessica. It was
Thanks,
great
Jess.
talking with you.